When I was growing up, I was taught in American history books that Africa had no history, and neither did I. That I was a savage, about whom the less said the better, who had been saved by Europe and brought to America. And of course, I believed it. I didn't have much choice. Those are the only books there were. Everyone else seemed to agree that you belong where white people had put you.
Ocean, I come to you. A pilgrim language in the tip of my tongue, I come to you. My distress is a river goddess on fire, a burning desire, metamorphosed into an inferno seeking to drown. My restlessness is amphibian, a submarine of questions looking for answers in your depth. I come to you. Do not ignore me. The way God ignores the astronaut, do not ignore me. Like a lightning conductor ignores the orchestra in the rain, do not ignore me. Like an electric fish ignores the currents. I come to you to pay homage to my ancestors, the ones you let drown, the ones you swallowed whole, the ones you let loose your sharks on. Your reeds are an extension of my family tree. Your curriculum is how ships have passed. I have carried this lantern to the libraries of dark history, searching for the truth, only to find it covered in water. That you are a cesspool of death, a witch doctor's potion of sea water, rotten canoes, and the chloroquine tears of our bitter experience that tomorrow covers its nose at the stench of your past. I am not one of those bikini-wearing girls with wet nipples and expensive iPhones who have come to take selfies at your shore, to make you famous on Instagram, or shirtless boys making parties out of beach balls so they can throw it. You see, graveyards are meant to be sacred. Show some respect for the dead. They say, walking on ice will give you cold feet, but I have earned my phobias a different way. My fear of water is second nature to me. Only my fear of religion is greater. The first slave ship to visit the shores of Africa was Jesus. A 15th century Messiah used to lure black people on board and make slaves of them. The second was a slave Bible, a 19th century heresy where words like freedom and liberation were removed. This is why they call us children of harm. How they convinced us slavery was us fulfilling a curse. How they erected the golden calf from our metal chains and asked us to worship it. They say water has no enemy, but isn't the ocean a remnant of Noah's flood left behind by God to teach us otherwise? Our bloods have been turning water to red long before Jesus' first miracle. In our version of Christmas story, wise men from the west came bearing gifts in exchange of our children, our negritude, a coat of many colors covered in blood. The ocean is a holy book. The ocean is a holy book. The ocean is a holy book, and black people are its middle passage. When my chemistry teacher talks about chain reaction, I tell him my fathers will understand it better. And they were shackled in it, compressed like zip files below decks in it. That is iron corroded deep into their flesh and poisoned their bloodstream in it. That hot metals burnt patterns on their skin in it. That black people have been the subject of branding long before public relations became an industry. That my mothers and sisters were raped in it, gave birth to white bastards in it, made to dance in it, cause there was scarcely any room in the barracoon to sit in it. That some rebelled in it, gained freedom, got caught or got killed for it. And there are those who choose to jump into the ocean in it. There are those thrown overboard by the slavers from it. Cause there was such a thing as slave insurance. You see, how the chain of events are really just events in chains. You see, how identical a bracelet is to a manacle. How jewelry just a fancy word for chain. The Atlantic Ocean, the Dead Sea. The Atlantic Ocean, the Dead Sea. The Atlantic Ocean is the Dead Sea too. They say those living in wooden houses should not rear dragons. It's been centuries since the slave trade has ended, but this ship of Theseus continues to ply his trade. The white man is still taking, the black man is still offering his hooks in exchange for canned fish, his oil in exchange for fuel, exporting timber in exchange for toothpicks, the worth of a dragon for the wage of a matchstick, still exporting his dignity in exchange for debt. These days, importing foreign loans is how we attract global interest. These days, we don't manufacture anything anymore. We can't even make our own mistakes if asked to. This poem is written with a holding pen. Can't you see the slaves in my grip? Our freedom is a stolen artifact of which the maggots have made the wormhole. This rot is a time traveler. Yesterday it was slavery and then colonialism and then racism. An eye for an eye, we are the ones going blind, but we pretend to look good in sunglasses. But I still hear them. Even as I stand upon these shores, I still hear them singing to me. And I think to myself, the ocean must be the birthplace of soul music. I still feel them, the chains. Is this why I have iron pigments in my blood? I still see them sinking, and I am here wondering if the spirits of those who drowned ever learned how to swim.